Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So within today's video, we are going to be talking about Memphis Depay and his potential move to get away from FC Barcelona. Then we're going to be talking about Barcelona's interest on Marcus Thuram, who has been one of the players that did take part of that final between Argentina and France. And then lastly, we will talk about the situation regarding Eric Garcia. I do want to thank everybody here that did click on this video. Welcome to this Barcelona family. If you want to support this YouTube channel, like this video, also subscribe to the channel. It's going to, again, just greatly help this channel so I can produce the best content possible. So again, welcome to this Barcelona family where we talk about everything regarding FC Barcelona. So let's first talk about Memphis Depay, because it does say here that Atletico Madrid have indeed asked Barcelona for Memphis Depay. Negotiations are going to be taking place this week. Atletico Madrid do want Memphis on loan until the end of the season to replace a player that will be leaving Atletico Madrid, Joao Felix. Now, Atletico Madrid are not the ones telling and forcing Joao Felix to leave the club. Felix wants this, that he believes that this is part of his next plan to go to a team like Chelsea. So let's have some context, right? Because look, Felix is convinced by the project that is being built by Chelsea. Atletico Madrid have been asking for around 21 million euros as a package, compromising a 15 million loan fee plus a 6 million gross salary. So that is a deal regarding Atletico Madrid and with Chelsea. And the fact that this team is going to let go of someone like Joao Felix, that is going to be a big and huge hit for this club, because he is a player that has been considered as a big part of this team. And when you lose someone that valuable, what do you think that club does next? They go for another very technical player that can fulfill that role, which is why Atletico Madrid have turned their heads to Memphis Depay, who is currently a FC Barcelona player. And that is why Atletico Madrid and FC Barcelona are looking to see if they can close a deal. And let me tell you, Memphis would want to leave. Like, he was very close on leaving Barcelona last summer to go to Juventus, but everything fell apart. So you can just see that Memphis does not mind leaving FC Barcelona. He's not one of those players that says, I'll die here at Barcelona, I'll never leave this club, and I want to succeed here. He is okay with making that exit. And so we saw Memphis Depay have a great World Cup. It gave us a spark of hope that, okay, we can see this version of Memphis at FC Barcelona, no problem. But with Lewandowski coming in, with Rafinha also coming in, seeing a very improved Dembele, it left Memphis Depay out, even right after he did have a great World Cup performance. Barcelona and Xavi Hernandez simply just do not see Memphis Depay within their plans, because if you really think about it, if you look at the front three that we currently have, which is Rafinha, Dembele, and Lewandowski, if Xavi were to make substitutions within that front three, the two players that will go in first would be Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati, which means that Memphis Depay is considered as the seventh choice. And that is alarming, because for someone like Memphis who plays at a very high level, he cannot be a seventh choice player in the attack. So what we are seeing here between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid is very similar to the operation of Luis Suarez to strengthen the rival. And that has been something that has not been resonating very well for many Barcelona fans, because they're like, why are we strengthening our own rival? That is only going to decrease our chances of winning La Liga potentially in the future. But look, as FC Barcelona, knowing how good we actually are and what we could do on the pitch, if Atletico Madrid have Memphis or they don't, Barcelona in the end, they have to win. There's no excuses. And to be very honest, I wouldn't even send Memphis Depay to like a English club, because the only reason why many people believe that English clubs are better than La Liga clubs, it is because Javier Tebas has been putting a salary cap on many of these clubs, and they have all been forced to let go of players and send them to the Premier League and make the Premier League clubs much stronger. So I do not even want to have Barcelona partake of sending players to the Premier League and making these Premier League clubs bigger and stronger. It's okay with Memphis going to Atletico Madrid, because Atletico Madrid also do need to strengthen. And unfortunately for Atletico Madrid, they're going to make and partake of whatever the agenda is coming from Javier Tebas, which is to like sell their players to go to a team like Chelsea in the Premier League and make Chelsea stronger, and only for a Spanish club to get weaker. So I would not mind supporting a team like Atletico Madrid and give them Memphis Depay, because we don't even really need this player. So let's see how things turn out in that meeting later this week between Memphis Depay, FC Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid. Let's move on towards the next topic of today, and let's talk about Marcus Thuram. And it does say here, according to Mundo, that Barcelona is interested in Marcus Thuram. They have been following him for a while and have a good report on him. They're keeping tabs on him only for a potential summer move rather than a January move. Chelsea are also very interested and want to bring this player in immediately. So if you guys do not know who this player is, because I know that this name has just popped up out of nowhere, Thuram is a 25-year-old left winger who can also play as a center forward. So he plays in both positions. He represents Mönchengladbach and also the French national team. Again, he played a huge part in that World Cup final, and he's also key for the club that he currently does play in. Only Christopher Nkunku has matched his 10 non-penalty goals, which is crazy. So let me give you guys some key points regarding this player and what he does best and what he is weak at. Key point number one, his physicality. He uses his physicality, his body, to get into those very valuable areas. He's also 6'2", 6'3" in height, so he can be a real target inside the box. Let's say, for example, Dembele and Rafinha are like crossing the hell out of a certain game. That player would be the target man, which will be Thuram. He's also really good at taking advantage of disorganized defenses. So let's say, for example, Barcelona takes away the ball from Atletico Madrid in the middle of the pitch. Atletico Madrid are disorganized for like about 4 to 5 seconds, and the one player that should be leading the attack would be someone like Thuram, who is really good at that. He's also really good at off the ball movements to receive the pass when he is playing as a center forward. And one of the weaknesses that he does show on the field is that he's not so great at dropping deep and trying to create with the other players. Like, he really isn't. The decisions that he makes does seem very nerve-wracking. I have seen this player many times, and sometimes I'm like, okay, was that really the best decision to make? I think that if we were to have this player, he would be someone that would be better off waiting at the top, never coming down to create with the other players like Pedri or Gavi or Busquets, and run behind the defense, waiting for that long pass or that through pass coming from one of our midfielders. So the fact that this player could come in for free and for a very like cheap salary is a good signing. I would not mind that. Chelsea, like I've said, are very interested in this player alongside with Joao Felix. Chelsea seem like they want to grab everybody right now. Like, I really don't care who Chelsea signs, because I have seen this team like sign so many players and they still end up 10th in the Premier League. Like, literally, they're in the Premier League in 10th place. I know this is going to seem kind of random, but I really wish that Joao Felix joined FC Barcelona. I really did. Like, about 2 or 3 years ago when Joao Felix moved to Atletico Madrid from Benfica, I wanted this player to come to FC Barcelona because of his talents, because of his skill sets, because he would understand how Barcelona should be playing, right? Joao Felix is a player that I really do admire, and it sucks to see that he's gonna go to a team like Chelsea, to another Premier League club, where again, these Premier League clubs are just buying these Spanish players in order for that league overall to get stronger. But unfortunately, that has not been the case. I think that one of the reasons why we couldn't really get Joao Felix is because we got Griezmann for a very big price and the wage was extremely high. So we're like, okay, like, we got Griezmann, we don't need Joao Felix. But now look at the position that everybody's in. So now let's move on towards the next topic of today, and now let's talk about Eric Garcia. It does say here, according to Mundo, that despite the fact that this player, Eric Garcia, is not having any minutes, he does not consider leaving FC Barcelona. Now, there's a big reason why I'm bringing this topic up, and that is because of one thing. Eric Garcia has not started a match for FC Barcelona since the 29th of October, which has been almost about 2 or 3 months. And just like a few months ago, like about 5 to 6 months ago, many of us were talking about how great Eric Garcia was as a center back. But now, seeing that we have a brand new trinity, I would say, a brand new back line that does include Christensen, Ronald Araujo, Koundé, and also Alejandro Balde, there is no place for Eric Garcia. Like, he is just completely out of the picture. So that is going to be the question. What is the future of Eric Garcia? Because like I've said, Eric Garcia had many good games. Let's not ignore what Garcia has been doing with Barcelona in the past 6 to 7 months. His passing has been so precise. His ability to handle pressure when the players are pressing high and Eric Garcia has to make decisions with the ball. He is one of the best in the world at that. If any defender in the world, whether it's at the Premier League or in the Italian club, is showing qualities like what Eric Garcia has when it comes to him having the ball, that center back would have been very expensive. So right now we're kind of like overlooking what Eric Garcia actually has in his skill set. But here's another thing I also want to point out. Xavi Hernandez has also clearly, right, he has made it very clear that he does want Alonso as the 4th choice center back and over Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia is considered as like the 5th choice center back right now. So that is one of the big reasons on why Eric Garcia has not been seeing a lot of minutes, is because Marcos Alonso is now over Eric Garcia. And Alonso has been playing so well to the point where Xavi Hernandez has said, I want to renew this player for another year. So let me ask you guys this. Do you think that Xavi Hernandez is making the correct decision to have Alonso over Eric Garcia? So let's talk about that, right? Why is Xavi Hernandez saying, I want Alonso over Eric? Eric Garcia is better in passing. And I do want to make that very clear. He simply is better. I'm not going to be here and lie and say that Eric Garcia does not know how to pass. He's better than Marcos Alonso in passing, and especially in deep areas. When we have to play out from the back, when the players from the opposition are pressing us and we have to play out from the back very quick to get the ball into the attack, the one player that I would choose would be Eric Garcia over Marcos Alonso. I would not choose Marcos Alonso at all. Eric Garcia would be the ideal one. But if you're looking for a center back that knows how to make that final pass into the box that can lead towards a goal, or the second to last pass that can lead to a goal, I would choose Marcos Alonso. Those are two very different things on what I've just described there, which is passing from deep areas and playing out from the back, or making that final pass that leads towards a goal. Xavi Hernandez has chose the last option, which is he wants a center back that can distribute a pass that leads towards a goal. If we look at this screenshot here, this is exactly what I do mean. Xavi Hernandez loves this, and Marcos Alonso loves playing this game, is to receive the ball and to make that cross in a very inverted area within the pitch and into the box, where Rafinha finds that ball and makes that last pass inside the box. Eric Garcia can do the exact same thing, but with Marcos Alonso, when it comes to plays like this, he just looks much more fluid. And that's basically because because he is left-footed. And I think that is why Xavi Hernandez chooses Marcos Alonso, because he has more fluidity on that side and what he does demand from that center back. And if you even look at the passes to penalty area per 90, Marcos Alonso is on the left and we have Eric Garcia on the right. Marcos Alonso does 1.35 passes to the penalty area per 90, while we have Eric Garcia barely even touching one to the penalty area per 90. And then we look at the accurate passes to penalty area. In terms of the percentage, we have Marcos Alonso with a 70.59% accuracy. So 70% of the time Marcos Alonso is accurate. And then we have Eric Garcia at 53.85%. And so if you combine that type of skill set from Marcos Alonso with the aerial duels that he is really also good at in terms of defending and playing offense, Marcos Alonso is yet again superior compared to Eric Garcia. So that is it right. That is going to be wrapping up today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.